Children, I'm sure all of you must have heard about the sport called Kabaddi. Some of you must have even played the sport. Children, do you know that Kabaddi is one of the oldest sports played in India? And did you know that Kabaddi originated in India? Today we will start with the lesson A Kabaddi Match. Through this lesson we will learn some of the basic rules of Kabaddi and understand the importance of confidence and use of it in our lives. Children, we are going to start this lesson with page number 15 in our textbook and then go back to page number 12. Kabaddi is an ancient sport. It originated in India and has now become popular in many countries, so that many international events are organized. In these events, international rules are followed. But several other Kabaddi styles such as Sanjeevani, Gamini, Amar, etc. are followed in different parts of India. So in this passage, children, it says that Kabaddi is a very old sport which has originated in India and is popular in many countries. And because of its popularity, we see that international sporting events are organized. There are different styles of Kabaddi which is played in India, like Sanjeevani, Gamini, Amar, etc. In Kabaddi, two teams of 7 members each face each other in a flat rectangular court divided by a midline. The game is usually played in 2 halves with a half-time break in between. After the break, the teams exchange their sides in the court. So in this game Kabaddi, there are 2 teams who play and each team has 7 members. This game is played in a flat rectangular court which is divided into 2 halves. And the game itself is also divided into 2 halves with a break in between. After the break, when the teams come back, they go to the other side of the court, or they exchange their side with the other team. To play the game, each team sends raiders across the midline to the other team. The raider tries to tag the opponents and run back to his side all in one breath. So in this game what happens is, one team will send one person who is called a raider. Okay, so this raider will go to the other side of the court, to the opposing team's side. There he will try to tag, or he will try to touch one of the 7 members of the opposing team. And then after touching, he has to come back to his side. All this he has to do in one breath, which means he cannot inhale or take air again inside. To show that he hasn't inhaled again, he has to chant Kabaddi Kabaddi all the time. If he has to inhale again, he is out. So in this game, when the person or the raider goes to the other side, he has to keep saying Kabaddi Kabaddi all the time to show that he has not inhaled again. And if he does inhale again, that person is out. The opponents try to catch the raider and stop him going back to his half till he loses his breath and has to inhale again. If the raider manages to go back successfully, all the persons he has tagged and all those who have touched him are declared out. So after this raider goes to the opponent's side, the opposing team, they try to catch this raider and they try to stop him from going back to his team. They try to hold him to their side till he loses his breath. if the raider is successful in going back to his team, then all the persons that he had tagged and all the persons who had touched him, they are all out. For each player declared out, the opposite team scores a point. If all the 7 players in a team are out, the opposite team gets bonus points alone. The team with the maximum points wins the match. So children, for each of these players who are declared out, the opposing team scores a point. So if the raider, he loses his breath and he inhales again, then he is out, which means the opposing team will get a point. If the raider is successful and he goes back to his team, he crosses the half line, he goes back to his team, then his team will get points for all the other members of the opposing team that he had tagged or who had touched him when they were trying to stop him from going back. Now, if all the 7 players in a team are out, then the opposite team, they get a bonus point called Lona. And at the end of the match, whichever team has the maximum points, they win the match. The game of Kabaddi requires good health, muscular strength, strategic skills, a lot of practice, and above all, great determination. Indian girls and boys have always excelled at Kabaddi. Would you like to be an ace Kabaddi player when you are a little older? Who knows, if you make a resolve now, one day you may help win glory for your school, district, or even the state and the country. So children, this game or the sport of Kabaddi requires mental as well as physical health. When they are talking about muscular strength, they are talking about physical health. When they are talking about strategic skills, determination, these are all mental health, or mentally they have to be strong for this. So children, in this lesson, we have been given details about a Kabaddi match that was held in a school sports meet. Let's read and find out. The school sports meet was scheduled next month. The practice matches had already begun. 9B were the favorites as they had strong players in their team. The Kabaddi trials were on. This year, there were 3 new students in class 9A. To everyone's surprise, they proved to be outstanding players. 9A's hopes soared. When the match started, all the spectators clapped and boosted the morale of both the teams. 9A won the toss and sent their raider Govind. He was so swift that before the opponents realized it, he had touched Suresh from 9B and was already heading home. A point was scored. Scheduled means arranged to happen at a particular time. Outstanding means excellent. Spectator means person who is watching an event. Boost the morale of the team means make the team feel more confident or encourage the team. So a school sports meet was planned for next month and they had already started practice matches. Now, even before the sports meet started, 9B was the favorite. Why? Because people believed that they had strong players in their team. So, it was expected that they will win. In class 9A, 3 new students had joined. And these 3 new students turned out to be very good players. And that is why 9A's hopes were high and they thought that they will win the Kabaddi match. Now when the match started, the audience, all the spectators means the audience, the people who were watching this match, they clapped and they encouraged both the teams. Class 9A won the toss and they sent their raider whose name was Govind. Govind went to the opponent's side. He touched Suresh, who was from 9B, and he came back to his team, and therefore 9A scored 1 point.